Loud Emily by Alexis O'Neill. From the moment of birth, Emily's voice boomed.
Goo-goo, Baba!
Emily sang in her Emily voice. It startled the midwife. It astonished the neighbours. It frightened the birds that were nesting in trees. Emily's parents loved her truly, but oh dear, her voice could be heard all around the seaside town. "Perhaps she'll grow out of it," said her father as he closed all the windows and fastened the doors.
"We can only hope,"
said her mother as she covered her ears with embroidered pillows. But as Emily grew, so did her voice. It rattled the brasses. It shimmied the crystals. It shattered the plates as they crashed to the floor.
"Good morning,"
Emily said in her Emily voice. "Please be soft," said father.
"Good afternoon,"
Emily said in her Emily voice.
"Please do whisper,"
said mother.
"I'm ready for lessons,"
Emily said in her Emily voice. "You must be quiet," snapped the tutor, who threatened to leave. When Emily turned 7, she heard father fretting. How will she find her way in the world? Mother sighed.
"How will she find friends?"
The tutor hissed. "How can I teach such a boisterous child?"
"I'll try harder,"
Emily vowed in her Emily voice. Emily slipped back into the hallway. Her lonely footsteps echoed on the polished floor. She wandered past the grand staircase and tiptoed down by the in-and-out door. Emily tweaked it open a crack. Oh! She heard pots and pans banging, cupboard doors slamming, and errand boys yelling, "Deliveries! Help!" Emily stepped inside and tugged at the skirts of the kitchen's round cook.
"May I help you?"
Emily asked in her Emily voice. "How grand a lass who speaks up," said the cook above the happy din. "Call the servants for tea, please."
"Tea time!"
Emily called up the dumbwaiter. The inside servants came running.
"Crumpets and scones for everyone!"
She called out the garden door. The cook beamed. "What a fine help you are, little Emily." So Emily helped in the kitchen every morning. Upstairs, her parents still worried. "What about boarding school?" her father wondered.
"A boarding school?"
her mother asked. "Yes, she must go to a boarding school," crowed the tutor. "Far across the sea. And may I suggest Miss Meekmeister's school for soft-spoken girls?" Emily tried to be happy, but a misty greyness crept inside her and would not go away. On the day before Emily was to set sail, the cook took her hand. "Come, little Emily, before you go, come with me to Front Street and help me buy some nice fresh fish." Emily heard Front Street before she saw it. Oh, what a lovely place it was, there among the tall ships. The salty air rang with the sounds of riggers and smithies and coopers at work. Sailors trundled cargo along wooden wharves. Carriages thundered up cobblestone streets. Crowds burst from taverns with songs on their lips.
"I love it here,"
Emily said in her Emily voice. As Emily skipped along the wharf, she saw a small notice tacked to a large ship. "Loud help needed. Now. Casting off today. Captain Barreau." "Ahoy there!" called the first mate to Emily. "Are you Loud?"
"I am,"
answered Emily. "Come aboard then," he said. And Emily did. She walked up the rickety plank and right into Captain Barreau.
"My name Emily!
Emily said in her Emily voice.
How can I help?
Can you call an order from the forecastle to quarterdeck above a gale force wind? Peeped Captain Baru.
Aye, aye, Captain!
She said. Before the captain could say mizzenmast, Emily called,
All hands on deck!
and every ship's crew came running. Welcome aboard, Emily, cheeped Captain Baru. Emily waved to the cook as the ship left the harbour.
Tell my parents I'm all boarded.
She called.
Tell them I will write.
Her voice made waves in the sea. Captain Baru's crew was kind and luckless, but how they loved Emily's voice. She sang halyard shanties whilst hoisting the sails. She called boatswain's commands whilst standing the watch. She told stories to the crew while swabbing the deck. From her tidy bunk at night, she crooned forecastle ballads that made the men cry. And deep out in the ocean, the whales listened too. They danced to her wild tunes. They sang with her free songs. They spouted and blew their delight in the air. One day, a storm lifted waves into walls of water and shivered the timbers of the very old ship. Captain Baru whispered commands into Emily's ear. Emily shouted,
Avast! Luft her up before we're stove!
The men scrambled into the riggings as the ship pitched and plunged and dived into the raging sea. She cried,
Furl the main and stub it down!
The wind screamed its fury as Captain Baru and his raggedy crew rolled up the sails. All day and all night they fought the wild and thundering waves. They kept the ship safe until the storm finally moved on. At last, the captain sighed. But when the morning came, fog rolled in like a blanket of blubber. Can't see a thing, complained Captain Baru. Neither can we, moaned his poor, tired crew, and they fell fast asleep on the deck. Emily peered over the railing. Rocks! The ship was racing fast towards a rough, jagged shore. Where was the lighthouse? Had the fierce storm destroyed it?
Ahoy!
Emily called in her Emily voice.
Ahoy! Ahoy!
But nothing could wake the snoring crew. She pulled at the tiller, but the ship wouldn't turn. What could she do? And then she remembered the whales. She rushed to the bowsprit and shimmied along. Into the waves she cast her voice until a ribbon of bubbles carried her words into the briny deep.
Danger! Please help! Danger! Please help!
She sang in a song for the whales. And as Emily sang, the whales gathered all around. They hastened from Baja. They raced down from Iceland. They sped their way from the tip of Cape Horn. Then, as if the ship was one of their own, they nuzzled her and cradled her and eased her away from the treacherous coast. Emily sighed. Safe. But the other ships from the seaside town, they faced danger too. So she called once again to her friends of the sea. Between rolling waves and hazardous rocks, the whales formed a long bridge. The whales formed a wide bridge, and Emily ran from her ship to the shore. Up the winding lighthouse stairs she scrambled and took her deepest, deepest breath.
Danger! Rocks! Here!
She called,
Rocks! Here! Danger!
over and over she sang her two-note warning.
Danger! Rocks! Here! Rocks! Here! Danger!
Emily's voice rang out loud and true. Her call pierced the thick fog. Her voice tamed the fierce waves, and the captains and crews turned their ships back to sea. Soon the sun shone in the wide sky. On the horizon, were ships and ships and ships far from the threatening rocks. Along the shore stood all the folks of the city, shouting, "Hurrah!" for the little girl with the very big voice. The happiest shouts of all came from her own proud parents. Now, Emily lives with her parents and the kitchen's round cook in a home near the lighthouse on the top of the rocks. On sunny days, Emily does what little girls do. But on foggy days, and on stormy days, and on very windy days, Emily cautions all ships in her loudest Emily voice and keeps them safe from harm. And nobody there in that house by the sea ever complains of the noise.